whistleblowers. Senator Ted Cruz, I'm not sure if you had a chance to see this, but it's pretty disturbing what we just witnessed about 20 minutes ago.
Well, I think it is very disturbing, the corruption and the weaponization that we have seen within the FBI and within the Department of Justice. We're seeing more and more whistleblowers that are going to the committee in the House, that are coming to the Senate, that are raising concerns that under Joe Biden, both the FBI and the Department of Justice as a whole have been turned into a political weapon to target the enemies of the White House. I just had last week Jim Jordan as my guest on my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz. We did 2 podcasts doing a deep dive into the evidence of how the DOJ and the FBI has been weaponized, has been targeting, for example, Jim just referenced it now, the FBI had a memo coming out of the Richmond field office where they directed undercover agents to target traditional Catholics, to try to go and get priests and clergy to spy on the members of their church. It's an absolute abuse of power, and it continues unabated under the Biden administration.
So if you're an FBI agent, you stand up. Just give everyone a feeling there's some really good people at the FBI. The problem is Washington, and that's, I believe it's the 7th floor. And they stand up and they say, listen, I got a problem with this. You want me to put you want me to stop pursuing child sex cases so I could do January 6th. Why would I do that? So they speak up, and the retaliation is overwhelming and transparent. And they know these guys are going to come forward, and they did it anyway. What does that tell you about the empowerment they feel, knowing that this is about to become public knowledge?
Well, the politicization has become normalized, and you're right. Numerous whistleblowers have come forward, and the political leadership at the FBI has responded by retaliating, which is illegal under federal law, doing things like stripping their security clearance. Now, if you're an FBI agent and you get your security clearance stripped, it means as a practical matter, you're not able to work. And it is because look, there are heroes within the FBI. There are heroes within the Department of Justice who signed up because they want to catch bad guys. They want to catch child predators. They want to catch terrorists. And instead, they're being used as the enforcement arm, as the muscle for the DNC, and it is fundamentally wrong what is happening under Joe Biden.
So what's insane what's going on right now. The Durham report comes out. It's 300 pages. It doesn't read like a legal document. Very readable. But people's interpretation is really off. One of which is Adam Schiff, who should realize there is no collusion between Trump and Russia. That's what Horowitz found out. That's what Mueller found out. That's what Durham found out. Adam Schiff's been saying there is. That's why he's a disgrace. But he is not saying that. Listen.
This is an investigation that started in a flawed manner. It was conducted in a flawed manner. And its conclusion is a flawed conclusion.
And now this guy wants to take his lies and become a U.S. senator. Senator Ted Cruz, is he going to be forced to deal with reality at some point and apologize to the American people for lying?
Well, look, he is certainly an expert on handling an investigation in a flawed manner. We saw Adam Schiff, perhaps the worst in all of Congress, at just lying to the American people, at taking information that he got in a classified setting, selectively leaking it, and leaking it in a way that we know is dishonest. At this point, it is clear that the Russia investigation was always a crock from day one. It was based on the Steele dossier, bought and paid for by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. And the Department of Justice knew that. The FBI knew that. The Department of Justice knew that because an associate deputy attorney general, his wife, worked at the firm that put it together, and he was a major conduit for this. And this was all about hard left partisans who burrowed into career positions at DOJ and the FBI, who hated Donald Trump and were willing to use the entire machinery of government to try to target him. And I'll tell you, if Hillary had won, we would never have known any of this. Their plan would have worked, except the American people had something else to say about it. Whether Schiff is ever held to account, I don't know. That will depend in significant part on the voters of California. But Schiff so far seems to have prospered on the far left by trafficking in lies on a daily basis.
Let's hope he doesn't become a colleague of yours in the Senate. Now, you're also a member of the Congress Committee and Commerce Committee, I should say, and you want to investigate what Bud Light was doing with Dylan Mulvaney. It destroyed a brand that may not recover. What's your focus?
Well, listen, I can't think of a company in modern times that has more alienated its customer base and seemed to have so little understanding of who it is that actually drinks Bud Light. But this week I sent a letter to the CEO of Anheuser-Busch along with Senator Marsha Blackburn, because the CEO of Anheuser-Busch is also the CEO or the chairman of the Beer Institute, which is the regulatory body, the industry regulatory body that regulates itself. And one of the rules that beer companies are supposed to follow is they're not supposed to market to kids. Remember the whole Joe
Sure.
the Camel thing? This is the same thing here. Well, you know what? Dylan Mulvaney, a massive percentage of Dylan Mulvaney's audience are kids. And Budweiser was trying, I believe, with this ill-fated marketing attempt to target teenagers. If you look at things Dylan Mulvaney has online, it's things like Days of Girlhood. There's another video where Dylan Mulvaney is singing, "My name is Eloise and I am 6." There's another one where Dylan Mulvaney is shopping for Barbie dolls. These are clearly things aimed at teenagers and even children younger than teenagers, which violates the rules. And so we're calling on the Beer Institute to investigate the degree to which Anheuser-Busch knowingly was marketing to children in going down this road.
Senator, you never stop. Senator Ted Cruz, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's not even 9 o'clock.